What we'll do now is work on fixing the flow of our scene. Let's first change our default in and out tangency. So now when we set keys, our results will be smooth, okay, rather than stepped. So we'll go to our default in, switch that to flat, and also our default out will switch to flat 2 and hit save. Great, so once this is done, we can now focus on the flow of the scene. And we'll start with the crate. Let's select that, go into our perspective and graph view, select the translate Z and hit F to frame the curve. Okay, and what's happening now is the crate is slowly coming to a stop when it reaches frame 50, and that shouldn't happen. Right now, there's an anticipation to the stop. Some things shouldn't have anticipation, for example, this, or even, let's say, a character is falling from one platform to the other. What's going to happen is both of his legs are going to be straightened out, or at least one leg will be straightened out until he's made contact with the floor, and then his knees would bend afterwards. Okay, and also we do have a similar situation with the arms here. As the arms are moving in, they should be a bit straighter until the character makes contact with the crate, and then they bend in. That's what we get here. But we'll worry about this section later. Let's focus on this crate. So what are we going to do to remove the anticipation here? We want this slow in. Okay, this is pretty good actually. As it's the character's moving in, it's going to slowly start moving, and then it's going to accelerate and build up momentum and then stop suddenly. So in order to do that, to get that effect, is we'll just adjust this tangency on the key on frame 50. So let's select it, and we'll also hit W just so we can go into one of our manipulators to move our tangency around. We'll select the left half of the tangent handle and middle mouse button, click and drag down like this. So what we get now is the character slowly pushing the crate in as what we want, and then the crate, or the speed of the push, starts building up, and then the crate stops suddenly, just like what we want. So here's what we get when we hit play. Boom. Okay, so that speed is much better. And once we fix that, we're now ready to go ahead and move on to the character's upper body and start focusing on its flow. And we'll start with the translate Z of the upper body. And here we want it to flow in as well. Not too flowy. We don't want him to float in, but still have a flow in there, where he starts to slowly move in and then build up speed and then move into the push. So let's work on that. What we want here is to basically fix this key on frame 10 so that the character is starting to move forward even then. So in order to do that, to get a better view of this key on frame 10, what we'll do is just hold shift the middle mouse button, click and drag this key up just slightly like that. So now when we scrub from frames 1 to 10, he is starting to slowly move forward. And then we could take the tangency on the right half of it and middle mouse button, click and drag up so we can get a better flow here. Great, so as he's moving forward, that's much better. But notice now, if we go ahead and hit play, watch the flow still. Okay, it's still stop and go, stop and go. We still get some pause, then he moves in, pause, then he moves in. So we need to fix our flow some more. What we could do here to fix this section up is to delete this key on frame 20 because it's actually hurting us right now. So let's get rid of that key right now on frame 20. Just delete that. Okay, so the flow is better when we hit play. Great. But we're still getting this pause here, so we need to fix this area up. But notice also this. Notice how the character on about frame 40, he's moving into the crate. Well, we don't want him to be doing that. So what we'll do to fix that is just translate him back to about a similar position he was in on about frame 30. Okay? Only a little bit closer as what we have now. Okay? And we do have this pause still in the animation. Okay, it's coming up, and then we have this, we're going to have this pause. And then he moves forward until the crate stops. So to fix this, what we'll do is select this key on frame 30 and delete it. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and take this key on frame 40 and bring down the left half to fix the flow here of the animation. Great. So what we get now when we hit play is this. Here's our results. Great. Now we're getting a better result as the character's moving in. He's flowing in now. Okay. Boom, pushes the crate to its stop and then comes up. And what we also want to have happen is the character move in a little bit more to the crate even after the crate stops, because he doesn't know where the crate's stopping. He's just pushing the crate until it does stop. So what's going to happen once he stops the crate, since he doesn't know where it stops, he's going to move in a little bit more to the crate and then push off. So let's create that type of effect using our translate Z. What we want to do is, rather than adding an extra key, what we can do is select this key on frame 50, okay, about to where the crate stops, and actually select the left half and middle mouse button click and drag down. And now notice, even on frame 51, okay, we have the character moving in a little bit more to the crate and then pushes off. But he can move in a bit more. And what's also happening, if we hit play, notice, he's just suddenly pushing himself off. So what we can do to fix this is to take this key on frame 60 and delete it. And now what we get is the character moving in to the crate a little bit more, and then he pushes off. And even this from frames 50 to 70 is a bit fast, and we'll focus on fixing the timing here, but that's better if we hit play. Alright, great. And we do have some intersecting with the character's head in the crate, but again, that'll all be fixed. Excellent. So this is much better. The flow is much better now if we hit play and check it out. Alright, excellent. Now we could go through the rest of our tangency, okay, or a few of our tangents, and just adjust their flow to fix up this part of the animation. So for example, on the rotate X, could fix this flow here, bringing up the right half. And also on this key on frame 30, we could bring up the right half to fix the flow there. Okay, and also for the arms, once we have that, let's go ahead and fix up the arms. We could go to the translate Z and just fix up our tangency so we're not getting these pauses, having the flat tangency in here, but getting more of a flow like that. Okay, we'll do the same thing for this key on frame 60. Great. Then we could go to the translate Y and fix this up, adjusting the key on frame 10. Okay, and the rest is fine. We'll go to the translate X, hit F, and bring down the right half. Just get a better flow. And once we've done that, we can now go to our left hand and fix this up. So we can bring up the right half, select this key on frame 20, get a better view, bring it up, the right half, and then adjust this key on frame 60, bringing down the right half here. Okay, and the rest looks fine. Then we could go to the translate Y, do the same thing, okay, similar to what we did with the right hand. Then we'll go to the translate X and just fix this up. Alright, great. So once we have that done, let's go ahead and render off a play blast to check out our results for this lesson. So again, we'll find a nice view where our character's in shot. We could get in closer since we're just focusing on the upper body, and render one off. How about from here? Here it is. Alright, great. So notice the progress that we have right now. Now there's a better flow in our animation rather than what we had before, the pause, the stop and go. And we also fixed the flow of the crate. We gave that better timing and spacing as it starts to slowly move up, as it should, having that slow in, that principle of animation, and then starts building up momentum and stops suddenly. Okay, so we don't have anticipation to the stop, as which we shouldn't have. So that finishes this lesson, and in the next lesson we're going to bring more of our focus to the arms and hands.